How do we build long-term successful relationships with clients? It's a key question in the professional services industry, whether you're a coach, a consultant, an expert, someone selling knowledge or helping clients with your knowledge. We tend to seek long-term relationships. Finding clients is not an easy thing. And once we found the right clients, we want to stick with them as long as they need us, of course. And how do we do this? I have a simple answer for you. The way to build long-term successful relationships is by building long-term successful relationships. And you may go, what? How do you do that? You just answer this question with the question, right? What do I mean by this? What's behind the pun here? What's behind the joke? If you are outside of work, outside of your profession, if you are someone who is interested in building long-term successful relationships, what's the mindset? What's the intent that you bring to this? Well, if you want to do that, you're going to have to nourish the relationship for a long, long time. And it should be joyful. It should be something you love. It should be something you're passionate about, because it can take a lifetime. For instance, an example of a long time successful relationship is a successful marriage. Getting married is not just, marriage is not just getting married. Marriage is working through the ups and downs of marriage. You get married to deal with the problems that marriage actually creates. Marriage is not easy. It's one of the hardest things to do in our civilization, in humanity, in fact. It's a work of deepening our understanding about the other. It's a work of empathy. It's a work of love, really. And notice I use the word work because it's really work. I am married myself, so I have a little bit of experience, 20 years, of marriage, and successful marriage, to my point of view, in my point of view. But what do I mean by this is that marriage is successful if you bring a refreshing point of view all the time. If you flow new ideas to solve problems, if you care about trust, if you care about loyalty. If you stick to it, if you believe that behind the curve, behind the difficult moment, there is brightness, there is success. And so there is the same thing with clients in professional services, right? The problem is that we tend to seek new clients all the time in our professions, and when we forget about old clients, when in fact we should actually continue to honor their presence, honor their trust, honor the fact that they may need us, for a long time. I once found myself telling a client, the way I work is simple. I come here, I make you as autonomous as possible. I teach you everything I can, and then I'm out. I want to put myself out of a job as quickly as possible. And I realized 3 years after still working with these clients that I was constantly trying to do that, but I kept coming up with new ideas and he kept coming up with new needs. So as long as they're mutual, authentic, beneficial relationship, you can continue to help someone forever. But you have to continue to bring something to that relationship. You have to look for answers. You have to research, you have to come up with new ideas. And this is how you nurture a fan base, really a client base. How do you do that? Concretely, how do you do that now? Without a pun, without the joke. Well, you need to produce content. You need to research. You need to train your mind to think every day about your clients' problems and come up with solutions for them. You need to think about innovative ways you could help them. You need to constantly research their context and make sense of their context for yourself so that you can help them make sense of their context. So that's how you go about building successful long-term relationship with clients. There is no secret, but maybe just a posture and a mindset of loyalty and throwing love into the mix, really throwing love and continuing to stay in touch, despite the fact that even if there is no project, even if there is no exchange of money at the moment, how often do you contact your old customers? How do you go beyond the transactional nature of your work? How do you stay connected? How do you stay relevant to them? How do you continue to ask the same fresh, inquisitive questions that you would ask them on the first day you work with them? It's really about that attitude of continuing to nourish a relationship that finally could really last forever. This is what great professionals do. This is what great mentors embody on a constant basis. They go beyond the transactional nature of their job. They go beyond the contract. They go beyond the fees. They sell authentically and continuously. They continuously research what the problem might be, what the pain might be for the client, and continue to develop new solutions until they've reached, the point where the client is completely healed. When maybe there is we're out of the problem here. But if you do this, if you bring your heart into building those relationships the way I just described, you will be surprised about the results you get. I've been working with clients for 3, 5, 7 years now, in a very effortless manner. I don't call them to sell them and push something that they don't need. I call them first to inquire about how they're doing. I listen to them. I take the time to call them, really place a phone call, not call them like with text but just really take the time to old school, carve out a moment to listen, to really ask questions and wait as long as possible until I start thinking and talking about a solution. That's one of the things I do. I write handwritten notes. Yes, old school, paper and pen with envelopes and stamps. And I write to them, and I write to my client. When I think about them, I wish them, the best. I celebrate key moments to them. I thank them for being, in my network. I thank them to be for being in my circle. Sorry. I send them a welcome card, letter, when they start working with me, and then once in a while, I like to check in with them and thank them for the relationship and the trust that they put in our relationship. Just like I would be writing love letters to my wife to continue the courtship in our marriage, so that the relationship lasts for a long time successfully. So I hope my 2 cents here help you. I hope they help you reflect on what great client, professional service provider relationship look like. And as always, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on those ideas. So please comment and send me feedback about what this could look like for you. Thank you so much.